If I can stuff this thing here. I don't want to do that. God darn it. Okay, good morning and welcome to Ag Talking Raw, where I talk raw about agriculture and other things. I'm doing this live. I figured it'd be cool to have some interaction here instead of just, pre-recording it or whatnot. So I tried to do it on my computer in my house here, but of course, you have to have third-party software. Don't ask me why. It's just stupid if you ask me, but now I've kind of froze up my computer. But anyways, I just want to talk a little bit about the tough times on the farm. Which farm? My farm, everyone's farm. Anyone that's farming, apparently, in the country is having a hard time, including myself. It's just been hell for the last year trying to get hay made. And I mean, the sun's shining right now, but the fields are so saturated. We were on hillsides, and at the bottoms of the hills, we were getting stuck. Dad jammed that thing up 3 times yesterday. Timothy was waiting at the edge of the field with log chains, waiting for one of us to get stuck. So we're going to actually change that. We're going to move that back to... Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is actually get to the point where I actually talk about something. Okay, so I read an article the other day on AgWeb, and it was a Bloomberg article, and it was talking about tough times on the farm, and farmers are making more money on YouTube, than they are actually growing their crops. In my case, that is not true. I'd like to clarify that. It isn't true. Now, some others, yes, probably, possibly, quite honestly, more than likely is true. It's good, though. I mean, isn't that what life is about? Finding your way, making a living, and doing well. Now, what you do with that YouTube fame is entirely up to you. Now, I've been doing this for over 10 years. Over 10 years I've been putting this ugly mug up on YouTube. I have somewhere, I don't even know how many subscribers I've got. Let me take a look. I think I've got close to 140,000 subscribers, which I'm pleased with. You get what you get. There's one thing that I've learned in my life is expect nothing and be happy with what you've got. Okay. Now, there are some that are, and I'm talking YouTubers in general, not just agricultural YouTubers. Just be happy with what you've got. Now, there's YouTubers that come online and that's their whole goal, is to become famous on YouTube. That was never my whole goal, and why can I not figure this thing out? That was never my whole goal, to become famous on YouTube. I always felt that I was here to offer, it was a learning channel, learning how to repair stuff, which I have successfully done. I know there's a lot of people out there that take my information and they do good with it. There's also some people out there that absolutely 1286. Well, that's an International Harvester tractor from like the 1970s. There you go. So you're 1286. It's a positive. I've always tried to be positive. I know there's a class of people or a demographic on here that feel that all I do is belittle my children and make negative comments. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. That is not really the way that it is. I'm trying to guide them into adulthood and manhood. Not all men are men, and not all boys are boys. It's frustrating at times to take the time to show your family member. This bald head has got to be driving people nuts. To show someone, or a new employee or whatever, to take the time to show them how to do the job properly. As of lately, I've been allowing them, because I felt that I've showed them enough stuff. They ought to be able to think for themselves by now. I just stand back and let them go. And then when they're getting close to fucking up, or they already, they're starting to, then I'll step in and say, no, you can't do it that way. This is the way it's done. And, the other day with the Nodders, I allowed Cody to take the thing completely off. Oh my God. They got it back together again, so it was fine. It's not the way that I would have done it, but they did it their way. You are correct. I am not raising my children that everybody gets a trophy. There are two types of people in this world. You have winners and you have losers. And that's something that I believe that the government is having a hard time dealing with right now. I watched that on TV the other day, a feeble old man that they used for his name only so someone else could write a report on a biased report. Well, it actually wasn't biased. They wrote a report that could not do what they said that it did or did not do. And when they brought the feeble old man to Congress, you could tell within the first 20 minutes that he was so in over his head they needed to throw him a life preserver. But yet, the other half, they're like, this is a record day. This is the end for the president, which I don't know why they would celebrate that. They should be sad, not happy, but they were like frothing at the mouth, waiting for it. So, as far as this Bloomberg report goes, I wouldn't. Okay, so I wasn't asked to participate, which annoyed me just a tiny little bit. Just so you know, it did annoy me when I'm reading this. I'm like, wow, it would have been nice if they called me. I mean, I'm really probably the oldest. I am the oldest consistently uploading farming ag channel on the internet. And I know that to be true. I know Tyson, northern, the northern farmer there. He. We got boy down there. Down where? Oh, I have a visitor. Tyson, he was on longer than me, but he stopped uploading for quite some time. You coming with me? Come on. You're just too damn cute, crawligator. This is my crawligator. See how cute he is? He loves to watch Daddy talk. I just love this little guy. So Tyson was on here before. He was on there before me, and he stopped for a while, and then he came back to it. So, but I've been consistent throughout the 10 years or more that I've been doing this. Very consistent. Being rude, slurping my coffee. So, anyway, but they never even asked me, and I'm okay with that. I was a little annoyed, but I'm okay with it, because do I really want to put my name out there as someone who is farming and making more money on YouTube than I do in my agricultural practices? I don't want that. Last year was a terrible year, and I'm proud of myself and the ability of my family to pull through the hardest year I have ever had in my entire life. Now, I don't know anybody that could leave 600 to 800 acres of material or a crop in the field and survive. All right, that's a lot. We don't really make money until it's all done. Now, it was tough. I was, 4,000 bales short of what I should have made last year. You got it, 4,000 bales short of what I should have made last year. And, 4,000 bales, that's a lot. That's a lot of money, right, William? I would do the math on that, but I'm actually live streaming on my phone because for some reason I need a third-party streaming program in order for this to go. I thought that was ridiculous, but whatever. Anyway, so there's a lot of money to lose, and it wiped out my savings. I've used my YouTube money, the money that I kept separate from everything else. I've used my YouTube money to take a risk to do the straw job down in North Carolina, and it was a tough deal, but I incorporated my family, and we did that job. It was successful. It wasn't exactly the number of bales that we were expecting by about half, a little less than half. I got a little less than half of what I was expecting, but you know what? That's farming. You get out there and you do the job. Still made money. Well, I haven't made any money yet because I haven't been paid yet. They got 30 days from the last bale that drops off the back to get me paid. So, all that money's gone. So when you say tough times, it's tough times. It's tough times on this farm. And I was also reading a report about the farm crop, the crops that are being grown from wheat. Look at this guy. Here, we'll do this. See, now look at this. See, he's cuter than I am. So there you are, see? So the farm crops that are in the field are at a 50-year, it's 50 years ago. How can I phrase this? This is the worst crop since 1955, is what I was told. So that's a lot. That's a lot of years and a lot of population to have the worst crop, or the crops are worse than they were 55 years ago, or in 1955. In 1955, there was a nationwide drought. I believe it had something to do with nuclear testing, because once they stopped nuclear testing, the weather kind of did straighten out and it stopped being so dry, right? He's into making these fish lips. Look at these things. Yeah, fish lips. I'm so afraid when he's on the ground. I have rollers on this chair. I'm afraid of rolling over his little fingers and crushing them. It would probably pinch them right off. It would be terrible, wouldn't it? So, yeah, everybody's feeling the pinch. I watched Jeff Raymond. I also watch some other channels that nothing ever seems to go wrong. It's just like, yay, we're doing this today. Yay, we're doing that today. Yay, we're doing that tomorrow. Yay, everything's great. Yay, we're at the lake. Yay, yay, yay. It's awesome. Show some failures, for Christ's sakes, right? I mean, agriculture is not without failure. I try to show the start to the finish. Yes, there's a lot of videos. Every day I post. And the reason I post every day is because people want to see a daily vlog. Now, when I was in North Carolina, I couldn't do it. The cell service down there was deplorable at best. I mean, I had a better chance of getting at Hillary Clinton's emails than I did at getting internet access here. So, and I got major criticisms for things, therefore I withheld all the footage. I could have spent the next month and a half posting videos of what we did in North Carolina, the fun we had and all that stuff, but because of idiots, I decided that I would keep that to myself. And I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with it all, but dribs and drabs of it came out, here and there. But, that's one thing that I've noticed. If you continually make videos of the same, like, oh, this wonderful straw job that we did, and you just keep posting them, people stop watching. They're just like, fuck this, or excuse my language, I'm sorry, but screw this, we're not going to do that. My language is terrible, I'm sorry. Daddy's bad. Yeah, you tell Daddy. Daddy's bad. Yeah. I prefer quality videos occasionally rather than quantity. The North Carolina short was, oh, wait a minute, I want to read it. Shorts were enough. Yeah, and I really truly do want to make a movie out of that. I do want to make a movie out of that, all that footage, and I figure if I put dribs and drabs of it out, then it's gonna be like, ooh, you just about took a dump there, boy. It would be. I'm not gonna sell it. I've decided not to sell it. You know, I wanted to, because I have $3,000 invested in, over $3,000 invested in camera equipment. Just so y'all know, it's expensive. This is the cheapest camera you're gonna buy at $400 and some dollars. This is what I use. This is an Olympus Tough Cam. And the reason I use the Olympus Tough Cam is because it's tough. It does not have an external microphone. It has no ports, jacks. I could throw that in a, well, I could throw it in a puddle of water until Tim ran it over. But he ran it over, and it still works. So it is fine. But I could show you many of them. Here's a black one. This one here didn't last very long. There's another. Clicky is still over there. Clicky still works. There's another one in the motorhome, which was almost $600. It was over $600. I mean, that one's a piece of shit. You know, so you have this, people have this, you know, let's get back to the Bloomberg thing. Looking at all the camera equipment that I have laying around here that I've purchased over the years to do this job, and it's expensive, thousands and thousands of dollars probably, but that's okay, because that money that is spent, I mean, even these things, I paid like $1,500 for these, and they broke. These are the pivot head glasses. I liked these. They worked really good, but they were expensive. I think I paid that much money for them. Anyways, they're just thousands and thousands of dollars. So there is an investment. It's not just an initial investment and then, yay, I'm good for the rest of my life. No, cameras break, you drop things, you lose them. They just break because they break. Humidity, water, oil. I dropped one in a bucket of oil, cleaned it off with starting fluid, and that was one of the Tough Cams, and it works. That was Clicky. So, anyways, with that Bloomberg report stating that these three, and it had three people listed. It was Zach Johnson, millennial farmer. It had Susan Cook, the WT farm girl, and it also had Josh. God, for the love of God, his name eludes me all the time, but the Stony Ridge farmer, Josh the Stony Ridge farmer, good guy. You know, and I've met Suzanne, and I've met Josh. I never met Zach. I've talked to Zach a little bit, and, you know, they're all good people. But there are so many channels that are out there, and there are so many people that love and watch these different channels. I think that Bloomberg could have done a great service at the end of that article. You know, okay, so here I am, granddaddy. You know, I'm granddaddy of ag channels. You know, technically me and Tyson are the granddaddies, and we could. He never did. Yeah, he was well lubed. No, there's something wrong with Click. He still works though. But you know, at the end of it, they should have did a short list. It didn't have to be the longest list, but they could have put a short list of the top 25 farming channels. I'm probably only, you know, I'm probably in the bottom tier of the top 25. My channel is not that popular. It used to be. Everybody that is popular now watched my channel. They didn't try to model it or mold it, but they watch and they continue to watch these channels, and that's fine. But I still think that there should have been just, you know, the top 25 farming channels, because Bloomberg is a big mainstream media deal. He's not up early now. He's not. He does that. I've just caused it. A motorcycle. Right? That's right. I love this guy. His kid is cool. This kid is pretty cool. Zach just hit 300,000 subs. Yeah, no, that's good. You know, I got a email or text message for somebody. It was a text message from someone. I don't know who it was, but a text message from someone last night, and they seemed outraged that I wasn't mentioned. Well, I'm not outraged. I mean, I was a little put off. You know, I mean, I was a little bit like, God, I was. I'm not gonna. I'm a human being, and I do have feelings, and I did feel a little bit left out at first, and then I thought, you know what? I said, you know what that's gonna do, and I've been around for 47 years, so I kind of know how life is. Hi. I know how life is, and people let shit go to their heads. Yeah, my farm is nonprofit disorganization. Yeah, well, that happens to me too. It's disorganized. I try to make it profitable, but and I've been very successful in what I do. But last year sucked. This year's not looking too good either, but whatever. Oh, stuff is always down. Right now, I got a bent power takeoff shaft. I got the brand new power takeoff shaft yesterday, and the shaft that power takeoff shaft hooks to is bent, so I'm going to go jack it back into place. God bless and suck snot. That's right. That was a big sneeze. God bless you. This kid is awesome. I've had 4 children of my own and a half of one. I had Peyton was my ex-girlfriend's son. And of all those children, of all of them, and I'd hate to say it, this one here I feel most comfortable with being a father to when he's this size, just because of the experience that I've had with the others. Not too much bothers me. When Timothy was little, when he would go, it would bother me. This guy, I don't care, big deal. What's it going to do? You'll outgrow it. We know he will. He's not going to be a 25-year-old going, are you? You're going to be 25 years old going, no, not. So this is where it matters in the end. It doesn't matter if you're a big YouTube star. It doesn't matter if you've got 50 million acres to farm. It doesn't matter if you make more money on YouTube than you do in agriculture, which I find to be a sad proposition. But it may very well be true. I mean, I was looking at some of Millennial Farmer's videos, and I was quite surprised that he got as many views as he did. I mean, he's got very good viewer retention. I mean, some of his videos are more, he's got way more views on a lot of them than he does subscribers. So he's doing really well. And monetarily wise, he's making some serious dinero. He is. But in my experience, the faster you rise, the faster you fall. I've seen it in YouTube. And it's really not a good thing to become dependent on that money and purchase for that with that money. It's better to have that money in your pocket and then spend it rather than or save it. You can go either way. I had opted to save the money that I had gotten from YouTube there. I had quite a few $1,000s in there. And I really shouldn't talk about the amount of money that I had, but last year it ate it. So it's always good to have that rainy day fund, which literally is a rainy day fund for me here. But yeah, anyways, only when his father goes like a what? What did you say I did? What? Only when his father goes like a motorcycle at 47. That's correct. That is true, because I mean, he just does it out of the blue. I don't do it I don't walk into the shop and go. Maybe I will for him. Yeah, he's just so shy. No. You gotta wake up. So, enjoy your family. So, anyways, with the Bloomberg, I actually wrote the editor of that Bloomberg report. I did. I wrote to him. I was like, uh-oh. Oh, I'm back. Too many rainy days depletes the funds. That is correct as well. morning. So anyway, I'm just going to keep on going with life the way it's going. And when YouTube, okay, so here's another thing that I see coming down the pike for YouTube. YouTube is in a conglomerate company known as Gobble My Balls. Yes, Google. So Google has gotten to the size where it is technically a monopoly. It is a monopoly, and there are antitrust laws in the United States of America that prevents a company from becoming too big. Not water, but too big. Too big in Filipino is water, but it's too big. So what will happen is what happened to AT&T back in the 80s, is they are going to break up that company. It's coming. And it's going to take an act of Congress, and it's going to happen because Google is too big. So when YouTube gets broken apart or sectioned off, or Gobble My Balls gets sectioned off, and anyways, Alphabet is holding company for Google, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I just got a text message. It's kind of disturbing. I'm doing this farmland assessment form thing, and these fucking people are driving me nuts. Anyway, yeah, right? YouTube. Anyways, but that stuff, it's going to get all broken apart, and then who knows what's going to happen. AT&T got broken apart, and then it disappeared. It went to, it's back. AT&T is back, but it went to Singular. It was torn apart and broken apart. Everybody made their billions of dollars. Is it good? Is gold good? Does it taste good? Yeah, gold chains taste good. So, give me that. You can't kill me. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, hello. Hey, Aditha. What happens then? So all these people that are depending on this money are going to go bye-bye, whether they're farming channels or just these idiots that's all they know is YouTube. And the biggest thing that kids in America want to be, that's what they want to do when they grow up, is become a YouTube star. I find that to be ridiculous. Go become something and then start a YouTube channel, or start a YouTube channel, but don't forget about the real career. Now, if you become a YouTube star, which is rare, and you make millions of dollars, which is rare, and you're able to save it without committing suicide, which is rare. There's so many dead YouTubers that were successful online. It's crazy. I don't ever want to be that successful. All it takes is one of these half-baked retards to come out and shoot you in the head, and you're done. It doesn't matter whether you were a farmer that had a YouTube channel or whether you were just some kid that grew up wanting to have a YouTube channel and became successful on YouTube. But yeah, there's some really weird people out there. So anyway, and I'm going to tell you, even if Bloomberg did come to me, I probably would have declined the interview. I don't need somebody plastering my name all over the place saying, you make more money on YouTube than you do anywhere else. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that want to make more money on YouTube than they do anywhere else. And I call it my fun money anyway. Actually, it was my bailout money this go around. So anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.